The Manky Head by E. Chris Ambrose. Narrated by Bob Kuhn. Introduction. As a long-time reader in archaeology and anthropology, Chris has been following ideas around repatriation and cultural heritage, an especially fraught subject in England. Her own travels introduced her to temples in India which were decommissioned after British visitors simply broke off and removed the statues as decorations for their homes. Nigel Rowe is working his way into a series called Rogue Adventures, which should launch later in 2023. Several of her series have found her researching in the UK, so it was natural for her to take that inspiration for a new protagonist, one with a very different set of skills than the ex-military team in her Bone Guard novels, not to mention a different tone. Can't wait to see what kind of trouble Nigel gets into. The Manky Head. Nigel Rowe hated his brother's head. Always had done, but he'd given up trying to get rid of it. The head lurked beneath a glass dome, its eyes squinted shut, its tattooed skin drawn tight against the skull, and lips pulled back in a wince of pain that always brought to Nigel's face a sympathetic response. He imagined for a long time that it would vanish in some natural way, relegated to a closet or attic, or burned to bits along with his brother in some drunken revel, along with half his family history in the manor house his brother occupied. But Nigel was willing to make that sacrifice. In his days at Oxford studying anthropology and following the repatriation of artifacts stolen from cultures around the world, always beginning with human remains, he'd been so bold as to suggest that Dafydd return the skull to the Maori nation, where it belonged. Nigel even took photographs and sent them to the Maori Cultural Centre to see if the skull could be identified. That, of course, had been the holiday when Dafydd triumphantly placed the head in the centre of a loaded sideboard to preside over their Christmas meal. It was the last holiday Nigel spent at home. For Dafydd's daughter's wedding, however, the head returned to its place of honour on the leather surface of Dafydd's monstrous desk. Nigel never expected the head to ambush him today, of all days.
"So, we've a little time to kill before the photographs?"
Dafydd began, standing part-way up the stairs, arms spread to encompass the 200 remaining wedding guests.
"What?"
Sample complete. Ready to continue?